PM. For the town of Madison is now in session. Please stand for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Need a motion to approve the minutes.
So
August 7th, 2024. Motion by Katie. Can I get a second?
Second.
Second by John. Discussion or amendments? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye. Raise your hand.
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstention? The motion carries. We have one abstention from you. Chair's comments? There is none. Finance member comments? Any members have anything they want to say? I'll go to Bob first out there. No?
nothing.
All right, here. Katie?
I just have one from the building committee for the new school from Graham Curtis. Wanted us to know that the building's about 50% done and on schedule.
Of the budget.
Yeah, the budget is doing very well. In fact, the 3.5 million that was transferred from the Polson project, it's in their contingency budget, but there has been talk about moving that back because they are doing that well. So happy news.
Thank you for the update, Katie. Any other finance committee member comments? Seeing none, we have our first select woman here, Peggy Lyons. Peggy, would you like to say?
Just echoing, that, we'll be talking about the Polson project and getting an update from that. I think there has been some, challenges that when they've gone out and gotten engineers looking at it, so the money will be very welcome for the Polson project, and I think we'll be in a good shape if that money gets transferred. The Board of Selectmen will be probably addressing that later this year, but we're gonna get an update from the, building committee, which Jean sits on, so she's been very involved in that. Oh, you're on that too? Okay.
Jean's, I think, on the academy. I'm on the school.
No, I mean the building committee itself.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, the building, they have a for Polson.
Gotcha.
So, but anyway, so that was good news.
Good.
Also, we did get bids in for the Garden Point project, and we're excited to say that we have one pretty close to budget. We might need a little bit of help, but not anything significant. And so we're excited. That includes all the add-ons. So, with the walkways and all the other things that the amenities we're hoping to have in the package. So that's gonna be coming in front of the board on Monday. We may need to get a small appropriation to get us over the hump, but it's not gonna be anything insurmountable. So that would come to you if we do that. We're trying to figure out if we need it or not. So.
Questions first? Yes, Katie?
Can you just remind me what the Polson project entails? I know the emergency shelter piece of it, but does it still include renovations to bathrooms and the theater?
I only have bathrooms in it. It's the HVAC and it's the auditorium.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
there's a
that's-
separate we were looking at getting a grant for the shelter, is the bathrooms in like the gymnasium and stuff like that. That would be outside of the scope of the bonding project, yeah, so it'd be separate, but, so there's a lot of different projects. The overlap with the generator project is the electrical. Because all that had to be upgraded to do the HVAC and you needed to upgrade it for the generator, so that's where the overlap is between.
And that 3.5 million, was that the entire amount or is some work in motion?
That was the entire amount that was transferred from one project to the other, and the expectation is we would get the full amount back from the new school project, which is
The
great.
referendum amount for Polson was only 3.5.
No, that was the amount, the whole total project budget, and it was like
20
20,
million?
yeah, 20 or 20.
That's what we.
20 million?
Yeah.
And we took 3.5 because they felt that, they didn't think it was gonna be a problem, but remember, this was all just to get on paper, the budget, so we could
To go out
get
to bid.
approval to go out to bid. So, that's what.
Think about it.
Yeah.
Questions for first select one?
Still check.
Jean Fitzgerald texted me earlier, she's not feeling well, that's why she's not here, so I just wanted to mention that.
Feel better, Chief.
I did say feel better, Gene, so. Yeah. All right, citizens comment, anybody in the public would like to speak in the audience? Anybody virtually?
There's no attendees online.
Thank you. Second time, public, third time, citizen comments, information session is closed. New business, discuss and take action to accept the donation from neighbor to neighbor to Madison Youth and Family Services for $10,000 for Madison residents in need of food assistance approved by the BOS 9/10/24. Can I get that in form of a motion, please? Jude, can I get a second? Katie, discussion?
Thank you.
I was gonna just say, thank you for the
You
very
can't say,
generous
Jonathan.
donation.
Any other discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye, raise your hand.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Abstention? That motion carries. We have item 8, discuss and take action to set PJA FY 24 discretionary community project grant for $114,000 for Madison Family Services Police Social Worker approved by the Board of Selectmen on August 26, 24. Can I get that in form of a motion? Motion made by Jude, second by
Second.
Katie. Discussion.
It's very exciting. It's wonderful.
I can, if you'd like some information on this.
Sure.
So
Thank
this
you,
is,
Madam Chair.
Well,
Go ahead.
how can I say yes? I think we outvoted it.
so this is a federal grant that we had applied for. It's a special projects grant back in March of 2022. So with lightning speed through a short process with the federal government, we're now at the point where we've been awarded $114,000. To clarify, this has nothing to do with the Academy project. It is a question that seems to come up from time to time online and in other places. I think because Peggy was able to secure a very large special projects grant for Academy at the same time that I applied for this, and we were granted this money on the same timelines. They often get tied together, but they are not. This would fund a integrated police social worker part-time for 2 years. We have enough funding for 2 years. All the money goes directly to supporting the position. There's no money that comes back to the town. That's not a way that we could use this grant. We've worked very closely with the police department. Chief Drum, Lieutenant York have been tremendous partners. Got a lot of support from Peggy, from our board of our finance department, pulling all this together. So just grateful to get this off the ground. And this will be a position that is the second responder model. It will be a position that can respond to on-site to an emergency. The second responder piece is really for us to understand that the police go first and secure the safety of the situation and kind of understand what the needs are and bring the social worker on site for things like help with de-escalating and more so help with then connecting that person with whatever resources that they need. The biggest advantage of a position like this is the follow-up. So even if the social worker is not on site, it doesn't get on site for whatever reason, maybe they're not on shift or maybe they're not, it's not viewed that they're needed at that time. We learned this through the pilot we ran, that the social worker can then follow, can identify needs of a call and go back and reach out to families and help them connect. Sometimes that's going to be like providing some short-term counseling and support, but most of it's just case management. We do have some metrics that we do need to track and to try to measure as a part of the grant. Demographics are on the call, the types of referrals, the follow-up. There are some things that we really want to track for the purpose of bringing this back to you all, and not this budget year, but the following budget year, because we want to run out of funding. And the idea really is to make this position a permanent one for the town. Not necessarily a full-time position, but one that would be, purposeful, functional, proportional to the need. So we're going to track on how the referrals pan out, if there's an impact on repeat calls. It's like one of the big advantages of having this is it does tend to cut down on situations where police respond. And since There's no real mechanism for follow-up without some sort of social work or outreach afterwards. You have situations that may be chronic in some ways, and then they are at risk for continual police involvement. So we have some ideas of how maybe we can measure this, but we're hoping to see an impact on lowering the amount of repeat calls. And these positions are incredibly helpful to police officers across the state where they're working well. So we're just glad to partner with the cops and looking forward to doing this.
Thank you.
Uh,
Go ahead, John.
I have a question. I think you might have answered it, but after 2 years, it dries up, correct?
Yeah, we may have a little bit of funding left, and there is some mechanism to, if we haven't spent all of the 114 after 2 years, that we can move that into a third year. But, for sure, if we want to continue this after 2 years.
Yeah.
We would need town funding.
Okay, and are we just recovering the salary or the fringe benefit or
It
part-time?
covers-
I guess there's really
Yeah,
no.
there's no benefits of part-time, and it covers, we were able to cover the salary, some OT, equipment, training. We did quite a bit of work to make sure we had costs covered and that they would fall in the grant.
Thank you. Thank you for your efforts on this, to secure it.
Sure, happy to do it.
You, yes?
Who does this supervision and evaluation? Is it you or the police department or both?
So it's technically our positions. You can think of it like the way that we support and then station clinicians in schools. So we're supporting the position and they're fully integrated with the police. So the office is going to be at the police station. They're going to be interacting every day with police officers. So that's kind of how we're setting it up, very purposefully.
My comment would be, John already hit, and I'm glad you mentioned it, because my experience with any of these grants that fund a salary, you own them 2, 3, 4, 5 years later, whenever that grant comes out, it ends up being part of your budget. But at least you came forward and said, hey, we want it to be part of the budget, it's necessary. We're going to find a way to receive more grants or to pay for it.
Yeah.
So thank you for being direct.
Sure, happy to.
Any other thoughts, Jude?
And it would be possible at the end of 2 years to apply for the same grant again or different grants?
Well, we could apply for another special projects grant. It's not realistic, those really depend on how the federal government wants to make those available. There are other grants that support positions like this, but then they also then come with a lot of extra requirements that usually have to take on a certain model, or, the police have to train a certain amount of police officers. So I'm not sure that we're going to get a lot more bites at a federal apple for funding for like this. The state has always, has consistently said that they're going to require these positions in police departments, and they've never really taken any steps to follow through with that. And you would think that might come with funding, but probably not, so.
Unfunded mandates.
Right.
We have a motion and we have a second to approve the $114,000 for the police social worker approved by the Board of Selectmen on August 26th. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Raise your hands. Any opposed? Abstention? The motion carries. Thanks. Item 9, discuss and take action to accept the
Thank you.
Connecticut DOT Active Transportation Micro Grant for $2150 for bicycle pedestrian advisory committee signage, educational materials approved by the Board of Selectmen on August 26th. On the floor, can I get that formal motion? Anybody?
So moved.
John, Katie, second. John. Motion, discussion. Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstention, the motion carries. Item 10, discuss and take action to allocate $11,500 from the plan and reserve for the Madison DPW yard site feasibility study as recommended by the executive directors of operations pending the POS approval. Can I get a form of a motion?
So,
Motion made by Katie, can I get a second? 2, discussion. Okay,
yeah, I'm just reading.
Go ahead.
This is relating to the town garage feasibility study, and the original plan that had been developed was tremendously cost prohibitive. We've been working on a much more, reasonable plan this is to consolidate beach and building and grounds on the public works site and also expand some of the facilities of the public works garage. We got good news from the water company that one of the big issues is the water main goes right through the public town garage, and it was gonna be an enormous expense to us to move it. We've worked out a deal with the water company. They're actually gonna remove it next year. So now that that is out of the picture, that allows us to work on the site plan. So we're coming up with a more cost-effective plan now. These guys are gonna help us design something that'll bring the cost down.
Fantastic. Any other comments for Peggy? Seeing none, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Or chime in.
It's my
Any
mom.
opposed? Let's take your mom's call. Any opposed, abstentions, motion carries. We have discussed and take action to approve the return of ARPA project balances total $161,589 to the ARPA fund approved by the Board of Selectmen on August 26, 24. I get that in form of a motion.
So moved.
I got a second. Thank you, Katie. John, second. Discussion. Seeing none, all those in favor, say aye. Raise your hand.
Aye.
Any opposed, abstention, that motion carries. Item 12, discuss and take action to approve round 20 of ARPA fund request totaling $61,369 pending the Board of Selectmen approval for, we're gonna take these one at a time, $10,000 for Madison Little League for the purchase and installation of the Upper Green Hill, so UGH, Upper Green Hill batting cage is recommended by the Future Rec Committee. And this one I'd like to see after conversations, since Madison Little League already have received some funding in the past, we're gonna cap this at 30% of the projects. I believe, Vice President of Softball is here, Mike Phelan. I believe the total project is 20,000, is that correct?
That's correct.
So that would mean it would be capped at 6,000. So for A, it would be 6,000, up to 6,000 for Madison Little League for the purchase and installation of the Upper Green Hill batting cages as recommended by the Future Rec Committee for a total project of 20,000 with ARPA funds that be eligible for up to 6. It also need, pending Board of Selectmen also. So could I get that in the form of a motion?
So moved.
Can I get a second? Discussion. Mike, would you like to say anything?
No, we're very excited for this opportunity and we appreciate your support. Give our softball girls an opportunity to get better. Thank you.
And you're ready to go?
We are in a financial position to proceed.
But for me, it also, it's not, even though it's a girls softball, but it's on the school grounds, the town grounds. It helps, anybody can use it. I think it's just a win for us.
Absolutely. Yes, I'm sorry, John. This is also a benefit for Polson Middle School as well, for the school team. So this will be a shared venture and we're happy to support.
Fantastic. Anybody else?
Yeah, that was just gonna be my comment, that it's nice that it's softball. I know the other project that benefited from the ARPA funds was the Little League fields that are most of the places.
The boys are enjoying it, yes.
But this is nice.
I also know the Vice President, Louis Chris Boynton, wanted to delay this a little bit till he got here, but I did not, so he can yell at me. Let him
We're
know.
all yelling.
You have a motion in a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstention, that motion carries. So we have item B, 51,000 for the facility department for the Arts Barn HVAC project endorsed in fiscal 18. Peggy, would this be subject to this 30% or they have not asked you for?
No, this is actually for our town building. So the HVAC replacement has been sitting, and basically we've been kicking the can down the road for quite a while because of other priorities, and unfortunately a unit failed.
Hmm.
So we decided, this is it's a community building that that's used by a Madison Community Television as well as the Arts Barn. And we have to do it. So either we could use ARPA or we could use another source, but we thought it kind of aligned with ARPA. And it's, something that was partially funded in CIP.
This is actually the main heating.
Katie?
In this building,
No,
No,
the Arts
Arts
Barn.
building.
in the Arts Barn.
Yeah,
And it
it
has
failed.
to be, so even though the facilities committee is looking at usage and all of that stuff, and the potential of some buildings coming offline, it's still imperative that this.
Yeah, it can't operate, right?
There's 3 systems of the Arts Barn. There's 2 wing systems which are not able to handle, they're not gonna be able to heat the buildings. This is the main unit, which is in the center, which does the entire auditorium section of the building. We
Gotcha.
lost all the AC out of it and it's just not working there. So it's a pick and place, just. put it
Peter
in.
and Peg, I know the answer to this already, so we're ready to go. This money's gonna be used until cancel.
Yeah, so we'll get it done by the end of this year. We'll have a PO.
Yeah.
As soon as the board votes on Monday, he's got people.
Okay.
They're going to fix it, so.
Excuse me, John.
Yes, sir.
How old was the system?
That's, I believe, 24 years old,
Okay.
which is way
Yeah.
past its life.
No, that's,
And this is one of those that was identified in the DRA study, and we've just kind of kept pushing it out for other, because of the, you know, the future of the building, you
Sure.
know. But it
It
kind
may
of caught us
be
this
a
time, so, we got caught on this one.
So we have a motion to approve the entire 51,369 for facilities department of the Arts Barn HVAC project endorsed in fiscal 18. There was a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, abstention, that motion carries. Thank you. Item 13, discuss and take action to accept donation from Madison Little League for the purchase of the Evergreen Hill batting cage and pending board of select approval. So this is the 10,000 they're going to donate. Actually, it'll be 14,000. Thank you, Coach VP Phelan. So the amount of 14,000 or up to 20, depending on the board of select approval of the 6. I know you're ready to go and you don't want to wait for another board of finance meeting for this. So can I get that in the form of a motion, please?
So moved.
Wait a second.
Second.
Any discussion, any comments on this? Mike,
No,
motion made to accept 14,000 or up to 20, depending on the ARPA funds uses 6,000. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And thank you.
Any opposed, abstention, that motion carries. Thank you, Coach Phelan. Austin, you want to say anything?
Oh, I see you in there also.
Item 14, discuss and take action to approve the return of 215,858.15 for various project closures for capital non-recurring expenditures master fund as recommended by the facilities department pending BOS approval. Motion, please. Thank you, Katie. Second, John, discussion. Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstention?
I would like to just say, to give his team, they have really gone through the CIP and they're really looking at, you know, and cleaning it up and taking things that are necessary. You know, we kind of took the DRA study and just dropped it into the CIP, so they're really going through with a fine tooth thumb. So that's
Thank
some
you.
of this, you know, it's gonna be really helpful for the CIP.
We're not done yet.
Yeah, they're not, there's more comments,
You know,
so.
when I ask for comments, when I ask for comments, you're allowed to, you know. Oh, Katie will let
Be
you speak.
careful.
Katie will let you speak, don't worry.
Well, I had him come tonight because I wanted him to get recognition for all the good work that they're doing.
First of all, he's not gonna toot his own horn.
Yeah.
So thank you. I'm glad that's being done.
It's much appreciated. Does that include you're going through CIP, the Board of Ed?
This is just, we've honestly just scraped the tip of the iceberg at this point, so we're really taking a deep dive. There's some actually doubles and Ben, our new construction manager, we're really lucky to have him. I mean, he's awesome here. He knows exactly what he's doing and he's very good at what he does.
What's his last name?
Ben Whitaker.
Thank you. Thanks, Peggy. Anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay, is that right?
I don't know.
Discuss and take action to approve. Discuss and take action to approve request from facility department to approve 98,497 in capital non-recurring expenditure fund for 2026 planning and to 2027 construction to the current year 25 for the police station roofing project pending BOS approval. Give that form of a motion, please. Anybody?
So moved.
Motion made by Katie, second by Judy. All right, that's enough. Discussion, you want to,
I'll make some comments.
please?
Yeah. So there's actually 4 different types of roof on the police station. There's 3 flat roofs and 1 pitched roof, which is what you see around the perimeter. We're not worried so much about the pitched roof. We can probably get another 5 years out of that. It's the flat roofs which hold the equipment and are a large part of the entire building. One roof has been replaced, the second roof has been coated, and the third roof is original. Now, these roofs are not meant to last more than 20 years, so we're at 24, I believe it's 2000 was it built? So we're on borrowed time on one roof. The second roof, which is coated, also needs to be replaced because that's the original roof with just like a top coating of tar over it. So,
Peter, refresh my memory, are there units or anything on top of it?
yes,
That's right.
yep.
Just for, you know, public knowledge also, thank you. So it's very important to make sure that.
I think there's a lot of investigation from them, felt this was critical to move forward
I agree.
in that way.
Any questions
So
for
we're
Peter?
basically, so we're basically looking at just speeding up the process of
Yes.
getting it done,
We want to get it done.
so we're like ahead of schedule.
Yes, we want to have the new roof done by this summer.
Are we gonna have to put money back into planning and construction that we're
No.
taking out now?
No,
No.
not for that.
No, then it comes off, right?
Yes.
My question was
Stacy, Katie had a comment
for
for you.
Stacy. I know CNRE was kind of bare bones. Does this? Are we
This
still
was-
good there?
Yep,
Okay.
this was in the later years, we're just moving it up.
Gotcha.
In the 215, the prior agenda item helps CNRA.
Happy to help.
All right, we have a motion and second to approve the 98,497. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Keep looking to my right. Motion carries. Discuss recent town and school utility bills.
Yes, I can answer that question.
Go ahead.
So as everybody's been pretty well made aware of, the Eversource has increased everyone's rates, and we were not immune to it as well. So we also got through a different source of rate structures, those additional charges were added into both the town's bills and the school's bills. They're proportionally, if you add the whole thing up, there were certain parts of the bills that increased between 1,300% and 2,400% on the costs. The overall projection is the school is looking at we took a 3-year average, and the school is looking at about an $80,000 deficit over that 3-year average for what we budgeted this year. And the town is looking at about a $54,000 deficit for what we budgeted this year over a 3-year average. So we're
It's a guesstimate though.
Yeah,
keeping you aware of that. This could we figured it also on a full year. They're saying that they're gonna pull it out in April,
In April,
But,
the
they
charge
haven't.
goes down.
so.
Down or out?
No, it goes down again. So there was like a temporary adjustment. I mean, I'm sure you've read all the stuff about this, right? There's 80% that has to do with the Millstone agreement, and then there's 20% that has to do with some of the other programs for, assisting people, and then also for EVs and all that other stuff. And so the rate thing, I'm trying to remember, there's another meeting, but they're saying that it expires in April, one of the
They're saying
numbers, so,
Yeah,
what they're saying, what could happen.
and that's what
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
planning for a full fiscal
Yeah.
year.
So, and this is, I think, all the good thing is we were talking about, we're seeing some benefits of the geo already. So the electricity usage for this building is actually
So
went down.
in a 1-month evaluation between where we were last year and what we did this year, and I can't emphasize this enough, the system is not set yet. We were running 100% all the time, and we were chilling the water too cold. Again, this is just it was an operational end of it. We're still doing the tweaks and turns and getting the valves right. We were about a third less in electrical power in the month of August than we were compared to last year.
Oh, it's never
I'm
good
not
to,
gonna comment.
Yeah.
yeah, it's never good
Thank
to
you.
hear about deficits, but I'm shocked that it's not higher.
Oh, it's gonna
Considering-
be, yeah, it's gonna be higher. I was actually I was at a meeting with Woody.
No,
today.
but
The
even-
geothermal, there's two, we crossed
Yeah.
over.
I'm talking about the deficits,
Oh,
with the increased charges from electrical.
So, we are over, and that's why I thought it was important you should know that, because I don't want to then say, geez.
Well, that's the question would be, that if you come to us in June, that you know about this.
Right,
plan.
right.
So that's-
So that is worst case scenario, 54,000.
And on the homeowner side, it went up considerably too.
Yes, it
Yeah.
did.
More than, yeah. That's,
So it was awful. And that was one we talked about at the board of selectmen meeting, because it was such a big topic, and we talked, and he was like, oh my God, these bills we got, but then when he started looking at it and forecasting it, yes, we could have this total of $130,000, miss on our budget, but it's not like, 500,000, so, and then you might see some savings from this building, because as the geo gets ramped up more, the electricity costs will go down some,
So we have also 3 buildings going offline, or what would be not considered in the mothballs, but we're gonna be doing it down to a lower level. until we decide what's happening with Jeffrey, Ryerson, and Town Campus Learning Center, but those buildings will be kept at about 55. We're not turning the heat off or the cooling off yet. So we'll dehumidify them, but we won't cool them.
All right, thanks for the update. Any questions for Peter?
More of a comment. It's
Go ahead,
just,
John.
it's good to hear that that's being monitored and to hear that we use 1/3 less in a very hot summer is pretty promising.
Yeah, it's comments I should have made out loud, but yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Nice to.
We have actually, I gotta say, Ben is working on an entire spreadsheet monitoring utility results month to month so we can get a really good track on it. And you'll get a real good, I'll present a real good record this time next year. Thanks.
Thank you.
Tax collection report. No?
Oh, sure.
You good?
The end of the year, it's just the end of the year, the tax collector report that we have to do every year, which is included in the audit. It looks like we were at, I just did a quick percentage of what we collected for last fiscal year at 99.2%.
Well done, Madison.
All right. Financials, questions or comments? Hold on to that fund balance, it's okay, you can do it.
Yes, exactly. So I put under your agenda, I put a copy of the fund balance, the first one for this current fiscal year. So up at the top is an unaudited number. I don't expect it to change too much. And then you can see the 2 special appropriations that you all approved. One of them still has to go to town meeting next week.
Remember
I
Wednesday,
was just gonna say that.
yeah, and it's at Brown and it's at 6 or 6:30. Can't remember what we
Week
did
from,
for
week from today?
Yes, please come.
Yes, no,
Oh, for sure.
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock. Yeah,
sure.
we're doing it in the interior.
Yeah.
Brown.
Bye. Okay. Any questions for Stacy? And I know we have our citizen comments. I know Chris Boynton, Vice President of Little League. It's been approved, Chris, if you want to say hello or something. I know you said that you wanted to delay, but I didn't delay till you got here. So Mike begged me to delay till you got here.
Yeah. No, we appreciate it.
So we got to
We
approve up to
appreciate you too.
6,000
Thank
because since Little League has already received some funds, the standard is 30% of the total project, so up to 6,000. And the BOS approval. All
Yeah,
right,
so we put out on Monday.
Okay.
Yeah, so it'll be the final, then you get the check
you
Tuesday.
get the check and you guys, you get
That's
it
great.
going
And we're happy to get that project going. Mike has been working hard on it, so we'll get on to the next one.
Thank you for your contribution too. It's.
We appreciate it. It's good for the town and, you know, we, other people, so. Anybody from the public who'd like to speak?
There are no attendees online.
Second time, third time, public information session is closed. Katie, would you like to make a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second? Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Meeting is adjourned at 7:37. Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
So when you guys think of the